What's up guys, Readiness Rations here with you again. We are taking a look at a U.S. military meal ready to eat today. This MRE is menu number 15, Mexican style chicken stew. I have never tried this particular menu before, so I'm most certainly looking forward to doing so in this video. Before we crack this ration open, I want to remind you guys to give the video a thumbs up if you like seeing these military ration reviews here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my future ration review content, and drop me a comment letting me know what ration you would like to see me review next. Now, Mexican style chicken stew debuted as an MRE menu in 2012 at menu number 15. It still holds that menu number 15 spot to this very day. Generally, this is considered a pretty decent tasting MRE, but as I said, I've never had the opportunity to try it before. This ration pack was sent to me by a viewer, so I want to say a big shout out to Scott and Eliana for sending it my way. Apologies if I mispronounced your name. This MRE is a pretty recent one, being packed on the 286th day of year 2020. This could possibly be the newest MRE I've ever tried here on the channel. Packed by Ameriqual, pull that pillable seal. Lift a little uneven, but open easy enough. As typical with Ameriqual rations, this one is double bagged. That does contain a flameless ration heater, so we can have that meal nice and hot. This was kind of just floating around in that package. Crushed red pepper, 1 gram, absolutely no complaints from me on that one. We do have our MRE spoon, chocolate hazelnut protein drink powder. That comes in at a substantial 270 calories with a whopping 51 grams of carbohydrates and only 12 grams of protein. Simple pack of MRE crackers. Cheese spread with jalapenos. Yeah, that is my favorite spread in any ration, period. Too bad they're only 1 ounce now. Chocolate flavor, First Strike, nutritious energy bar. A pretty small accessory package. We'll open that up in just a moment. Cheese-filled pretzels, cheddar flavor, 240 calories. That is a 1.8 ounce package. A wet pack, mixed fruit. I suppose that's gonna be like a fruit cocktail. Here's our sleeve for the entree. There's our ingredients. And the stew's coming in at 190 calories with 16 grams of protein. Pouch for the main entree. And now let's see what is in this accessory package. No MRE is complete without its Lighthouse toilet paper, 4 grams of iodized salt, a tiny package of beverage base cranberry grape. I've never had that beverage powder before, so that'll be cool to check out. A moist towelette, not recommended for eating, and a 2-pack of cinnamon chewing gum. This menu is looking pretty stacked in terms of containing really good MRE items that go well together. I guess we'll get this flameless ration heater going first. There's our little do not eat G-Schultz man. Stack up our heating pad and our retort pouch and slide them both down into the package there. Splash of water to the fill line. I overfilled just a little bit as usual, but hopefully it still works out. Quick fold over on that, and we'll slide that into the entree sleeve. This is already producing some heat and a bit of foul FRH aroma. While this is heating, let's get everything else plated up. This is a tremendous amount of food for an MRE. Scott did request that if I get a cheese spread in one of these menus, that I should heat it up. So I will take his advice and heat this jalapeno cheese spread along with our main entree. This ration heater feels screaming hot, by the way. The backside is all the way up to about 190. That is seriously impressive. Way better than any US FRH I've ever run into before. We'll look at our chocolate hazelnut protein drink powder first here. Looks like that calls for 8 ounces of cold water. They're calling this a protein drink, but with only 12 grams of protein for 270 calories, it's not really that protein dense. It will provide a lot of energy with all those carbohydrates though. I don't smell hazelnut at all. It just smells like straight chocolate to me. And that was pretty close to the fill line. Zip this top, fold it over a couple times for safety. And since this is a mix in the bag drink, let's mix it up. That was a pretty vigorous shaking. I still see a couple little chunky bits in there. Time to pour it up. Man, that looks thick. Yeah, still a little bit grainy and chunky, but that is a super thick chocolatey liquid. Since we're tackling our drinks, we'll knock out this beverage base powder cranberry grape next. These little beverage base powders are sugar-free, so they're artificially sweetened. They're meant for a 20-ounce bottle of water. The bottle of water I have here is 16.9, so the drink should be pretty strong. We'll use all the powder. Kind of a maroon color powder. That powder had a very substantial grape aroma. You can very simply just shake this in the bottle, and that actually dissolves very easily. I think I'm ready for a taste of our protein drink. It could probably use a little more mixing, but ain't nobody got time for that. Man, that is thick. It's not really gritty like I thought it would be. It's pretty sweet. I don't taste hazelnut at all. It just tastes like chocolate, and to be honest, not really that great of chocolate. It tastes pretty fake. Sort of along the lines of something like a Tootsie Roll. I'm not impressed with this drink at all. Usually, MRE drinks are pretty darn good, especially the dairy drink powders. This protein drink, it's not really my jam. Thick and creamy, sweet, but kind of tastes like butt. Very unnatural, chemical tasting. I ran into a little chewy bit there that wasn't quite dissolved. It doesn't taste great, but I'm finishing it all the same. Yeah, Natick, I think that one needs some work in terms of flavor. We'll move things right on over to our cheese-filled pretzels, cheddar flavor. Those are essentially combos. Looks like only one was broken up. These are putting off a pretty intense, sharp, cheesy smell. Next up, our MRE crackers. Good vacuum on those. They don't look to be very toasted, which unfortunately is the trend in our more modern MREs. Couple little crumbles in the corners, but nice whole crackers for the most part. And being from 2020, you know those are gonna be fresh. And now our first strike bar. That is a plank of chocolatey chewiness there. Wet packed fruit used to be really common in MREs, and then they sort of did away with it for a good long while. I guess it's making a comeback. That opened up easily. Yeah, that is just straight up canned fruit cocktails, what it looks like to me. We used to be served fruit cocktail at least once a week back when I was a school child, and so looking at that brings back some memories. This cheese feels nice and warm, so I think that probably means that our entree is sufficiently heated. This ration heater is still very, very hot. Oh yeah, that pouch is screaming hot. 157 on the outside. Ooh, saucy. And 153 in the inside. That is a very hot meal. The liquid is really thick. The main itself was a little light on calories, but I think they make up for it with the massive amount of extras contained in this ration pack. Right away, this Mexican style chicken stew is off-putting a really good smell. It's got me salivating. So we have lots of chicken chunks in this. The actual ratio of sauce to chicken is probably like 70% other and 30% chicken. Not too bad, really. We have some corn in there, some tomato. There are little flakes of herb, maybe cilantro being sort of Mexican influenced here. The sauce is very thick and gloopy, so I believe that has been augmented with some cornstarch to get that consistency. Looks like we have a little bit of onion, and I think that is a tiny bit of green chili. That's good to see. I must say this is a pretty good looking main, and it smells a lot like tortilla soup. I'm ready for a bite of it here, so we'll make sure we get some chicken and some corn. There it is in its thick, saucy glory. Mexican style chicken stew. It's pretty good. The chicken is super tender. It has a good amount of savory, oniony, garlicky flavors, and it does have a little bit of cilantro flavor in the background, something that I'm a big fan of. I think there's a lot of tomato in this sauce because it has sort of an acidic tomato thing going on. The corn adds some sweetness and a little bit of texture variation. And the flavor of the green chilies are coming through very nicely with just the tiniest bit of spice. Even though this is a Mexican menu, it doesn't really have as much heat as I would like, but I think this crushed red pepper will remedy that pretty well. I'm gonna put this whole pack on it. And even though this main tastes pretty good, I think it needs a little bit of extra salt actually, which is a rare occurrence with military rations. All the flavors are there, but they're not quite as sharp as I would like. So maybe the salt can wake that up a little bit. Mix in our red pepper flakes here. Now that's looking pretty good. Oh yeah, those chili flakes bring the heat. There's actually a little bit of texture variation from the chili flakes too. And a little bit of extra chili flavor is never a bad thing either. I'm really enjoying this main, it is good. Let's check out one of our cheese pretzels here. Super crisp and fresh, salty, but not too salty. It dries the mouth out a good deal, but has a really pleasant dried cheese taste. They are filled all the way through the middle with that sort of dry cheese paste. Giving that a little ride in our sauce for the main should be a pretty good combo. No pun intended. Oh yeah, that is good. And this menu is just loaded with crackery items because now we have MRE cracker to try. That is a very floury MRE cracker, almost undercooked tasting. Of course, it's obscenely dry. This is actually lacking in salt. I don't know if they've sort of changed the recipe on MRE crackers here in these most recent years, but this is not that great. Typically, I love MRE crackers, but this is not it for me. Get a little taste with some of our main on it. That should help out at least. Yeah, even though these crackers don't have the best flavor themselves, they're still a good canvas for transporting other flavors to your mouth, along with some crunch. I love that this menu had both red pepper flakes and jalapeno cheese spread. That probably makes it about the spiciest menu available these days. Let's take a look at our heated jalapeno cheese spread. Oh, it is very gushy and runny. It's had some time to cool down a little bit, but you can really see how jiggly and loose that is. Nice and orangey yellow with some visible green jalapeno flakes all through it, and a little bit of oil slick on the top there. See how that is on the cracker. Oh yeah, man, I love this stuff. Super salty, has that cheese whiz, nacho cheese kind of flavor, but with that nice background of jalapeno punch. I love it. You know I gotta take a scoop of this main and place that on a cracker with some cheese, because it's not gonna get any better than that. Man, that is so good. All those flavors meld together perfectly. Maybe a tortilla chip would be a little better than a cracker in this instance, but man, it really does all work together great. Mexican style chicken stew is a killer MRE. I've really worked up a thirst though, so let's get a taste here of our grape cranberry beverage powder. Purplish maroon-like color. Grape is the primary flavor. I'm not a big fan of those artificial sweeteners. It has a good deal of that artificial sweetener aftertaste that I'm not really a fan of. I'm trying to pick up on cranberry, but I'm not really getting it. The grape is certainly the most powerful flavor of this. Maybe a little bit of cranberry tartness, but not really all that much. It's sweet from those artificial sweeteners. I appreciate how much of this drink you get. That can flavor a lot of water. And if you have water that doesn't taste so good, this would really help that out. But as a standalone drink, not one of my favorites. This menu just keeps on going. I can't believe we still have 2 things left to try. I guess we'll take a look at our First Strike Nutritious Energy Bar here. I've had this chocolate one several times here on the channel. It is a pasty, sticky chocolate. These are quite tough, and they're packed with puffed rice for a little bit of crunch. Chewy and dense. They take a long time to get through. These are packed with energy for a soldier, but flavor-wise, they're far from impressive. The chocolatey taste is on the spectrum of something more fake like a Tootsie Roll, but the puffed rice is a nice touch. Let's finish things off here with our fruit cocktail. We can see some grapes in there, pears, peaches, pineapple, and a little sliver of cherry. It's so sad how little cherry they put in fruit cocktail. All that has a light, syrupy liquid, basically like a canned fruit cocktail. Decent bite there. Let's try that out. Sweet and surprisingly refreshing. Those pears do have a little bit of graininess to them. Everything is very soft and tastes the same. All the flavors have sort of melded together. It's a nice treat. It's going to provide some fiber, which is a good thing with military rations, of course. It's a bit of a blast from the past, but wet packed fruit has always been a pretty decent morale booster. And I think that does it for this review. That was menu number 15, Mexican style chicken stew. I've been looking forward to this menu for a long time because I knew it was one that I would probably like. It did not disappoint at all. I think this is one of the top menus available today. For one, it is a ton of food, provides substantial calories, and it is quite tasty. All the individual items go together very well. Can't really go wrong with that. Thanks for sending this one my way, Scott, and I want to thank all of you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up to help it out with the algorithm. If you know someone else that might like this video, please share it because that helps the channel grow more than anything else. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. And drop me a comment, let me know what you thought about the video and Mexican style chicken stew. I will catch you guys in the next video. See you then. Peace.